Hi, I'm Adie and I'm sat with Luke, Will and Jade, and they're on week 5, so just starting back end. How you coping?
Great.
You liar. You're barely holding it together.
Although today's been tough.
Yeah, today's been pretty intense. Coming off a very hard week last week.
Yeah, async week.
Async week,
Yeah.
where I think we all doubted that we'd ever be a developer. But sort of coming off the back of that, I think everyone's like feeling fairly positive.
Until today.
I came
Start
this morning
considering being a cook.
So what are you guys finding challenging about today then?
We're all having a really good time, like, despite what we've made it sound.
Don't worry, you will enjoy it.
You find got to look at a different camera.
Yes. Got it.
So what have you been enjoying then? Let's focus on that.
I like making things, so like when we did the Pokemon sprint and even like the Twitter API stuff, like when you actually can see what you're doing, that something's coming back.
Yeah.
I quite like that rather than the more sort of theory-based stuff.
Yeah, I know quite a few people like really got into the Pokemon sprint.
I mean, some people got really into it.
Yeah, dangerously so.
yeah, but it was quite fun to like actually have something, and I was really proud. I like went home and was like, let's play Pokemon.
Did you do it in the terminal or would you have
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, in fact, me and my husband played it to decide who was going to do the dishes. So I was like, right,
Did
okay,
you
we'll battle.
actually?
Yeah, and even though I wrote the code, I lost. That's like, he picked a really good Pokemon.
Well, you actually made like good Pokemon.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
I had like 2,
Yeah, mine was okay, yeah.
and they were like equally balanced. So it never really ended.
That was sort of the most depressing thing about mine, is that I was dead proud, went back and showed me, like, look what I've done, showed my missus, and she's like, 4 weeks of coding and you've only just managed it.
Like, oh.
Great.
Thanks.
Yeah, brilliant.
She's your rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
When times get tough, I can always rely on her.
I think next month is when I'll actually be able to show my family, like, oh yeah, you know what, all this time I've been spending, you actually understand it now.
Well, then my mum shot me down completely. You know, last week when we were doing those Twitter things where you could like capture data from someone's Twitter handle, and I was like, oh mum, look at this. Give me your Twitter handle. When's the last time you went on Twitter? I can tell you the exact time and what you wrote. And I did this, and I was like, isn't that good? She goes, can't you just go on my Twitter and see it? yeah, but
well,
that's
yes.
not the point.
So what were you guys doing before you came in here then?
Jade.
I worked in recruitment. Yeah.
Why would you ever leave?
Why would I ever leave? Well,
Why would you ever leave recruitment,
Would you
Jade?
ever leave?
I came to realise that it was recruitment and not me. I tried lots of different types of recruitment, so I did like legal, public sector, IT, and yeah, I worked in it for like 7-8 years, but it wasn't ultimately something I enjoyed.
Okay, so why did you think coding would be?
I used to do it quite a long time ago. I kind of picked it back up and really enjoyed it.
What were you doing, Will?
I worked for a record label in Media City who, they were a sync label, so we wrote or chose music for adverts and stuff like that. Yeah, so then sort of 2 or 3 years ago started trying to pursue the career in composing, moved down to London to do it, and then got a job up here about just under 2 years ago in Media City working for this label, which then made cuts in March. So I got a very brief job in recruitment, recruiting software guys, saw what they were earning, then found Northcoders and said, yeah. But to be fair, software was always that thing where I thought, in hindsight, I should have probably done software at uni, not sound engineering, because no sound engineer ever has a sound engineering degree. It's pointless.
There.
No, I didn't.
Very interesting.
What have you been doing other than wearing ankle bracelets?
If
He's a
anyone
strong
doesn't know,
man.
I'm one of them.
Is that
I was.
wind chill on your leg as well?
Pardon?
It looks like it's sunburn or wind chill on your leg.
I don't know. They've got a lot of marks on my legs that I don't know where they come from. I'll come into a lecture, like
Believe
put my
it.
leg on my leg. Leg on my leg. That's an interesting phrase. And I find like loads of marks. So.
Believe it or not, he's a hardy Yorkshireman.
Yep. That's why I wear summer trousers in the winter.
I'm not looking forward to seeing you in the summer.
They're up here.
Yeah.
That starts like rolling up. I go Britney Spears-esque.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what you did, but I'm not sure we want to know. That might have to be
What
like
did you
an
do
after
before
work
this?
It's
special.
not that great a story really. It's I was at uni 2 years ago, doing Chinese and business because
That's just so you. Just a real random combination of subjects.
it got to the end of it. I realised I wasn't enjoying uni. I wouldn't enjoy another 3 years of it. So I kind of re-evaluated myself and looked in my interests. Always thought I loved tech and coding and computers, but wanted to stay in Manchester. So I was like, right, what's around here that I can slide into? And Northcoders was available. So then the year after that, I was getting work experience and had a job to be able to afford this. So
Awesome. Properly planned it.
yeah,
Good man.
it was good. It was a good month of planning. Like,
You must have found
it
out
went
about
from
it so
to like, all right, I feel good now.
How early did you hear about it then? Because mine
I
was
don't know,
like all really
when I
last
originally
minute.
thought of applying, it was going to be the 3rd or 4th cohort.
Really?
So when was that, like sort of this time last year?
Yeah, exactly this time last year.
Oh, see, that's the complete opposite. Mine was completely last minute.
Yeah.
Like, I think, when did the interviews finish? Like the 27th of September? Mine was like the 25th. Then I went away for 2 weeks and sort of had to fit the entire pre-course into a week and a half, as well as get the loan sorted. And then
Yeah. Yeah, I did
It's
my
also really last
did my
minute.
interview in I think it was early June,
Oh wow.
June 23rd. Yeah.
All right, cool. So we talked about how difficult you were finding this week and async week as well. It's tough. Is there anything that's made it kind of easier for you guys? Is there anything you've enjoyed about it still?
I quite like when things are really hard that the kind of cohort comes together. So like when you're really struggling, it's never a case of everybody's miles ahead. Like you always get support, and when it's tough, there's always like a lot of people you can say, "God, that was really hard." And everyone's like, "Yeah," and you can kind of. It means you don't get down about it because you don't really have a chance because everybody else kind of.
Everyone's in the same boat,
Yeah.
so it's easy to relate with people.
Yeah. So I think like the support, like the community-wide support, so like from tutors and mentors or the cohort, I get a lot of support from actually like my peers. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, you and others, mainly others, who that I really like that, and yeah, it's always quite nice when you get to a Friday and we can all look back that we've kind of helped each other through a week, of a tough week.
I think that's the thing as well. When you're struggling, quite often someone comes to help you, but later in the week you're helping them because there's something you get that they don't get, and that's something I enjoyed as well.
Yeah,
But you wouldn't get
pairs.
that anywhere else. Like there's that sense of like community, like helping each other through. It's like, it's unique to this.
Yeah, where you get that at graduation, like when you guys have your graduation party. Like I've never experienced anything like it. Everyone's kind of properly elated because they've kind of got through the whole thing together. So you do feel that bond with people, and even now when I see people that I was on it with 6 months ago, like you're still properly happy to see these people.
I quite like that. When I've seen people from previous cohorts come in, everyone's so excited to see them.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, that's really cute when everyone's like still like seems like good friends, or you've got a bit of connection. I mean, you've been through a journey. Or a bit like one.
Well, we had a summer party a few months ago, and people that were on cohorts before me, but even then they were still kind of very friendly, not overly friendly, but very friendly. And like it's proper that sense of community as opposed to. So it doesn't even matter if you've kind of seen that person before. Just being a Northcoder, you kind of have that sense of having gone through the same experience together.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I'm walking around in my Northcoders hoodie now, everyone does think I'm part of some weird cult. Like,
In a good
in
way.
a good way.
In a good
In
way.
a good way.
Yeah. In a good
Until
way.
they make us mobilise.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
So they start giving me stickers to put on my car. Mobile branding.
Honk if you're a Northcoder.
Another good thing is there's obviously got the sense of community as well, but there's also, it sort of extends to the tutors as well. They don't really feel like tutors, they just feel like extensions of your peers on the course who know a bit more than everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they're the more helpful ones out of your peers, and it's sort of dead colloquial and dead friendly, and they don't give you the answer, but they just sort of very cleverly point you in the right direction. So
Yeah, there's no
that's-
like teacher. It's all very come over here, see what you think's wrong, and then it's like, all right, I think this, and they help you out like a mate would.
Yeah. So on that note then, so working with people, how are you finding the pairing stuff? So I think it's a big challenge when you first start doing it, but I think you're hopefully getting to the point now where it starts to get a bit easier and you see the value in it a lot more.
Who was your best pair, Jade?
Paired with both of these guys, so it's a bit awkward. You.
Probably true, actually.
No, I think pairs are quite good because you know some stuff and the other person will know some stuff and you can kind of meet in the middle. So I really like when you've got a pair like that, which actually was what like me and Will and Luke were like when we work together. There's always like something that you'll be good at.
Like you can complement each other pretty well.
Yeah, which is really good. And you learn things from people, like even if it's just like little tricks or something like that, you know, you learn things from people.
I think I've been quite lucky with that, like having pairs that, I don't want to say help me along, but yeah, they have. They've been like pretty good, and I've been able to assist them with what I know about as well.
Yeah, you help each other along, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what you do, isn't it? You kind of help each other along. It's quite good like that.
Well, I think we're being deliberately kept apart.
I think there is some conspiracy
There is a
going on.
conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy, we just said that we think it's a terrible idea.
Is that actually?
No, it's not tonight.
I wouldn't
It
blame you.
wouldn't
Now-
surprise
now
me. Like,
will
it's
be
perfectly fine because they're right. In fairness, if they said that, they'd be completely 100% right. It'd be a terrible
I'm just not
idea.
going to get a fair dose. That'll be a useless 2 days.